Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeTune.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in those earbuds, adjust that speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. What is Second Cup? Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale could be ending before the next 3 MB hits the airwaves, or a piece of late-breaking information the viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. And I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the March 9th, 2026 of Second Cup. Great to be with you all. I hope the weather is agreeable where you're at. I'm looking out the window. It's nice and sunny. It's getting warmer. This past weekend, we had temperatures upwards of 72 degrees on Saturday. It looks like it's going to be 58 the time I'm recording it. Today on Sunday, it'll be about 58, 60 degrees. Oh, sunny skies, warmer weather. I feel liberated from the cold winter weather that we've been having. And that's why I am using right here Libertas coffee from Sovereign Bean Coffee Company. Again, I feel liberated from all the cold weather we've been having, and that's why we're using Libertas medium dark roast. And this came courtesy of the Shave Masters. Thank you again to all the Shave Masters for sending along this coffee. They also sent along their own label, Shave Masters Mocha Java, Sovereign Bean Coffee Company, and you can catch them on Instagram every other Tuesday with a live broadcast. So check out the Shave Masters. And again, my thanks to them for sending the coffee from Sovereign Bean Coffee Company, Libertas. Yeah, feeling liberated from all the cold weather. And we're enjoying it once again in our Tough Mug with the Yeti lid that we showed you this morning on the Monday Morning Mailbag. So check that out this morning. Hang on, let me get a sip. Oh boy, that's good. That's a good cup of coffee. Yeah, that's a good choice this morning. And again, it's a nice sunny day. It's getting warmer, but March can be unpredictable. I mean, we can get this really, really nice warm wave of weather for about 3-4 days, and all of a sudden it gets cold and icy again. And fingers crossed for St. Patrick's Day on March 17th that the weather stays warm, because usually, I don't want to say usually, but sometimes it happens that the week before St. Patrick's Day and all the big festivities and the big parades and everything, it's like 70 degrees, 65, 70 degrees. And all of a sudden when St. Patrick's Day rolls around, now we're back to 35, 40 degrees with possibility of snow and that sort of thing. And that also reminds me that, again, April 18th is my late brother Jay's birthday, and we always have snow right around his birthday, either a few days before or a few days after or the day of his birthday. I'll tell you a funny story. It was April, and at work, the postal carrier was dropping off the mail, and I would open up the door and welcome her, and thank you very much. And the weather was nice and warm and sunny. Everything was great. This is like the week before my brother's birthday, April 18th. And she was saying, isn't this weather lovely? I go, well, you know what? Next week we're going to have snow. She goes, what do you mean? I go, it always snows around my brother's birthday, April 18th. She said, no way. I said, I will bet you that that we have snow right around my late brother's birthday. And she, a friendly gentleman's kind of a vet. And sure enough, on April 18th, we had about an inch of snow on the ground. She pulled into the driveway. She was all bundled up. I walked out to get the mail from from her mail van, and she looked at me and said, "Hey, you better talk to your brother." I don't like what he did today. I said, "Well, that's the way it is. That's the tradition." Yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah, but hopefully that won't happen this year. But it usually does. We usually have that little bit of snow a few days before, a few days after. If not on the ground, there's a little trace of snow in the air. It just kind of floats in the air. And it's also a nice memory of my late brother as well. So I kind of look forward to that every year, April 18th, with the possibility of snow. The day of his birthday, a few days before or a few days after, something like that. So let me know what happens around April 18th in your neck of the woods if you get snow right around the time of my late brother's birthday. Okay, great to be with you this morning. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Great to be with you. Again, a big thank you to Shave Masters for Libertas coffee, and a big thanks to Jimmy V for the Tough Mug, and a big thank you to Doug Thompson for the Yeti lid for the Tough Mug. So thank you one and all. Great to be with you. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. Hey, we'll pay a few bills and we'll get the show underway in just a moment. Well, as we reported on this morning's Monday Morning Mailbag, viewer Scott Martin won the St. Valentine's Day Love Your Lather giveaway. Scott emailed us to claim the prize. We packed it up, we shipped it to him, and we were just waiting for it to arrive. And we mentioned that if it arrived before we completed editing the Monday Morning Mailbag and getting it uploaded and that sort of thing, we would drop in a little video segment showing a photo and that sort of thing. Well, it just missed the deadline. After we got everything uploaded and scheduled, it was a little while after that we heard from Scott. He sent along a picture of all the items that had arrived, and he sent along the following email. We'll share this in the next Monday Morning Mailbag, but I wanted to share it with everyone here this morning on Second Cup because Scott sent along a very, very nice email. And he wrote, "Mark, the incredible Valentine's Day giveaway arrived today, and I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm proud to add every single thing here in my shave den. I'm really blown away and humbled by your viewers that allowed this contest to happen. Treat just happens to be one of my favorite blades, and Satsuma is one of my favorite scents. Italy has a long tradition of orange-scented shaving products, and I know Sterling does it great over here. Probably my favorite item here is the Mula 80th anniversary razor. I am a huge fan of Mula and other companies like Edwin Jagger that quietly do an incredible job decade after decade. This Mula razor is a wonderful piece of history. Also, the One Blade will be my first ever single blade shave. Long overdue. I have to mention the mug, the brush, and the scoop too. Wow, tomorrow's shave is going to be really fun. Cheers and thank you for this wonderful prize package. Your friend, Scott. Scott, I'm so glad to hear that everything made it to you in good shape, especially the Simpsons shaving mug because it's ceramic, and I do my utmost to make sure that everything gets packaged and cushioned and correctly protected so that it makes it to your front door in good shape, that it doesn't crack or anything like that, because that can happen. So that's my biggest worry when I send out a shaving mug or a scuttle or a shaving bowl, that sort of thing, that it makes it to your front door in one piece. That's my biggest fear, because it really is a beautiful, beautiful shaving lathering mug. And I'm so glad that it came to you in good condition, as well as all the other items. And again, a big, big thank you to Mr. Anonymous, Patricia Bagwell, Brian Zines Bernstein, and Greg Pisanti for sponsoring these last few giveaways. Thank you one and all. And Scott, enjoy all the gear. And again, folks, we are planning some more giveaways. I'm just kind of sorting through stuff. Let me tell you, we got some good ones planned. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that alert bell so you'll get an alert when we upload a video, because the next video we upload might be a giveaway video. So Scott, congratulations once again, and a big, big thank you to all the generous, wonderful sponsors who are making these giveaways possible. Thank you again, one and all, very, very much. Well, at the beginning of the show, we talked about the warm weather that we're experiencing here in the beginning of March. And again, we mentioned that March can be kind of up and down, warm one week and cold the next week. And coincidentally, we got this email update or email newsletter from Will at Barrister and Mann. And it's titled, As the Weather Shifts, Warmer Days Ahead. March can still be cold, yet the idea of spring begins to drift in as the weather grows less predictable. One day feels locked in ice, the next hints at warmth, and then it changes course again. As temperatures move, so does the way a fragrance lifts, travels, and settles. Aromatic materials rely on heat, much of it coming from your skin, to evaporate and unfold, so quite literally the chemistry responds to the atmosphere around it. Lighter fragrance structures tend to lean on smaller, more volatile molecules such as citrus, green notes, and aldehydes, all of which lift easily and feel bright and refreshing. Heavier structures are built from woods, resins, musks, and ambers, materials that need warmth to fully open, but once they do, they offer density, persistence, and depth. That said, there are no fixed seasonal rules here. Wear woods in July if it makes sense to you, or reach for citrus in February if it feels right. Transitional weather, though, can be an especially interesting time to experiment, and we do have a few suggestions if you're inclined. If you lean toward the colder end of the spectrum, Vespers is here, built around cranberry, balsam, cardamom, and the rich, leathery darkness of Mousse de Saxe. Or you can wear Leviathan, with leather, coffee, woods, and musk still carrying weight when temperatures stay low. On the lighter side, Seville's citrus, herbs, and oak moss remain crisp and structured. Also currently in stock, you can find Waves Eau de Toilette here, composed of sea notes, lavender, geranium, and bergamot, designed to stay fresh without turning sharp or fleeting. Our only real recommendation is not to flip a switch overnight, as seasons don't change all at once, and neither do preferences. But transitions can open doors to new combinations, new habits, and sometimes a new favorite shave. Wherever that search leads, we hope it brings you your best one yet. And then they have a link here where you can explore your favorite warm scents at Barrister and Mann. And they mention here, one quick note before we wrap up, we are currently working to bring our shaving soaps and balms back. In the meantime, our aftershave splashes, bar soaps, and Eau de Toilette are available on our website. And if you click on that link to go to their website, you will be taken to, and I'm just waiting for it to open up here, www.barristerandmann.com, and is spelled A-N-D in there, Barrister and Mann, M-A-N-N, and all their products are listed there, and it's great to see that they are operating and in good shape since their new association with Sterling Soap Company. So that's something from Barrister and Mann. Check out the science behind all their fragrances in their shave soaps, aftershave splashes, EDTs, and other items up there. A great, great guide to applying your favorite scent seasonally, one way or another. And again, don't make a sudden change. Kind of transition with the weather. And again, it's perfectly fine to use a citrus scent during the cold of winter, or a nice warm woodsy scent during summer. Boy, it's just a fascinating science behind fragrances and all these wonderful scents. And great to see that artisans like Barrister and Mann out there are still doing it for everyone in the wet shaving community. So check out Barrister and Mann at www.barristerandmann and their entire collection of scents that you can wear year round. Well, we mentioned on this morning's Monday morning mailbag that Et2 from Phoenix Shaving might be returning for the month of March. Sure enough, we got an email newsletter update that reads, Et2 returns, an homage to Brut. Beware the Ides of March, a Phoenix Shaving March tradition. Here are the scent notes. Top notes are lavender, anise, lemon, basil, and bergamot. Heart notes are geranium, Lang Lang, and jasmine. Base notes are sandalwood, vetiver, patchouli, oak moss, vanilla, and tonka bean. Et2 Brute? Sure, why not? Et2, an homage to classic Brut. For those who remember the bold green splash of classic Brut, our Et2 is a loving tribute to the original formulation, evoking that unmistakable barbershop fresh sophistication with a nostalgic twist. If you've ever wished for a truer, richer version of Brut, closer to the way it was when Fabergé first launched it in 1964, this is for you. A scent that stands the test of time. Like many fellow Gen Xers, my first encounter with Brut was in the 1980s, tucked among my dad's small but mighty aftershave collection. Back then, many a man's scent wasn't curated like today. It was often gifted. Christmas, birthdays, Father's Day. Your scent profile was determined by what you unwrapped, and somehow that worked just fine. Brut wasn't just another aftershave. It was everywhere, on bathroom counters, in gym bags, even in the glove box of that old sedan your uncle drove. But what many don't realize is that before it became a drugstore staple of later years, Brut was originally a premium cologne, a powerful, long-lasting scent that exuded confidence and refinement. A return to the original spirit of Brut. With Et2, we aimed to bring back that lost depth, closer to the original 1964 formula, before it was ever watered down into the more familiar splash. The result? A scent that feels both classic and bold, with a richer, longer-lasting presence, perfect for those who appreciate a true, timeless, masculine fragrance that may just take you back to simpler times, as it does me. So whether you're revisiting an old favorite or discovering it for the first time, Et2 is here to turn your next shave into a blast from the past, one worthy of the original Brut legacy, in my opinion. Okay, that's available through the month of March, so make sure to check that out from Phoenix Shaving, an homage to classic Brut, Et2. Give it a look. We also got this heads up from the Phoenix Shaving newsletter regarding a shave soap scent that I have never seen on their website before, but it's been available for a long, long time. And as they write here, last weekend to grab this classic, this is King R Emporium. I've not heard of this before. It's available on the product page, and hopefully by the time you hear this, it'll still be available. King R Emporium Artisan Shaving Soap, Ultra Premium CK6 Formula, old school, dialed in, epic. And here's what they have to say about it. Well, let me give you the scent profile first. The scent profile is almond, lemon, bergamot, cool mint, lavender, green accord, sandalwood, cedarwood, amber, musk, and West Indian Bay. And they write here, 12 years of this classic throwback. King R Emporium exists for one simple reason. It smells like shaving used to smell before anyone tried to reinvent it. This scent didn't start as a concept or a trend forecast. It started with a challenge and an old antique Gillette shave stick that had already outlived most modern fragrances by several decades. 80 plus years old, dry as a bone, still quietly doing its job. That alone told me everything I needed to know. King R Emporium is as different as it is epic. The opening is familiar but not obvious. Almond gives a soft, almost powdery warmth. Lemon and bergamot add brightness without turning sharp or sour. It smells clean in a way that feels deliberate, like someone knew exactly when to stop. Then comes the light, cooling kiss. A hint of mint wakes up the skin. Not candy mint, not menthol, just enough to feel refreshed. Lavender follows, calm and steady, while a green accord keeps the scent rooted in that unmistakable vintage shave stick territory. The dry down is where the personality lives. Sandalwood and cedarwood form a solid woody frame. Amber adds warmth without sweetness. Musk adds presence without funk. West Indian Bay finishes the composition with a quiet, old-school spice that reminds you this scent was never meant to be flashy. The King R Emporium Collab scent has been part of Phoenix Shaving for well over a decade now, since 2014, because it works. Not because it chases attention, not because it tries to be clever. It simply delivers a complete shaving experience that feels grounded, balanced, humble, and familiar in the best possible way. This is the scent you reach for when you want your shave to feel solid, dependable, and undoubtedly dialed in. King R is simply a good old-fashioned, proper shave scent built the way they used to build things. How about that? Check that one out. It's the first time I've heard of this one. It sounds wonderful. It sounds like a classic vintage shaving soap. Wow. Check it out from Phoenix Shaving, King R Emporium. Give it a look. Well, if you missed the Arizona Shavers Meetup for 2026, just get up to the Razor Emporium YouTube channel, and it's right up there. It's available right now. And as they write here, the 2026 Arizona Shavers Meetup brought together wet shaving enthusiasts from across America for a day of community, craftsmanship, and classic grooming culture. In this video, we recap the highlights from this year's meetup, from traditional shaving gear showcases and live demos to conversations with passionate hobbyists and industry artisans. If you love safety razors, straight razors, shave soaps, and classic grooming culture, this meetup recap is for you. So get up to Razor Emporium's YouTube channel and check out the Arizona Shavers Meetup 2026 recap. I've already taken a sneak peek. Looks really, really interesting, informative, and very entertaining also to see everybody who attended. It's at Razor Emporium's YouTube channel. Give it a look. Well, before I get out of here, I'm going to recommend a movie to you, and I recommend this one every year St. Patrick's Day rolls around, so this is an early heads up. If you've never seen The Quiet Man starring John Wayne, make it a point to watch this movie as part of your St. Patrick's Day celebration. This is a terrific movie. It's from 1952. It was directed by John Ford. It stars John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, Barry Fitzgerald, Ward Bond, Victor McLaughlin, Mildred Natwick, Francis Ford, Arthur Shields. Really, really terrific. Here's the summary from Wikipedia. The Quiet Man is a 1952 American romantic comedy drama film directed and produced by John Ford and starring John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, Victor McLaughlin, Barry Fitzgerald, Arthur Shields, and Ward Bond. The screenplay by Frank S. Nugent was loosely based on a 1933 Saturday Evening Post short story of the same name by Irish author Maurice Walsh, later published as part of a collection titled The Green Rushes. The film features Winton Houck's lush photography of the Irish countryside and a long climactic semi-comic fist fight. You know what? That's all I'm going to tell you. This movie is just wonderful. It's one of my favorite John Wayne movies ever. And again, the Technicolor cinematography just really brings all the beautiful shades of green from the Emerald Island alive on the screen. So here is my recommendation, my suggestion. Make sure you get the digital restoration of this movie. There are some copies out there that are very muddy looking. They are transfers from VHS tapes, that sort of thing. Make sure you get the pristine official digital restoration of The Quiet Man. It looks absolutely gorgeous on screen. And really, you will absolutely enjoy this movie. They did a marvelous job in restoring this movie because in years past, I would watch it. My thing is to watch it every year during the month of March, and I was always frustrated at not seeing this wonderful, beautiful, crisp Technicolor picture on screen, and now we finally have it. So make sure you watch the full, complete, wonderful digital restoration of The Quiet Man from 1952, starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, directed by John Ford. Celebrate your St. Patrick's Day with an absolutely wonderful, wonderful movie, The Quiet Man. Give it a look. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.